All right, welcome everyone to Midlife Manhood. I am your host, James Styles. I'm here joined by Curtis Lee, Terrell, and Corey. It's been a while. We've been away, but it's time for us to get back in the trenches. We got a lot of topics to discuss. Again, I'm going to do the typical YouTube thing and say, like the video if you dig it, subscribe below, and we're going to cover a ton of topics today. So we would just love to go ahead and hear from you and even hear your perspective. So go ahead, fellas, give me a brief update on maybe what you've been doing just over the last, I don't know, we'll say a few weeks or so. Any hot topics, anything that's just kind of been on your mind before we jump into the mix with all the things we got to discuss. Curt, anything going on? Anything major?
Nope, just getting fat, not working out.
I forgot we were gonna cover getting in shape for 21. I forgot that one too. I forgot that in show prep. Working out. All right. You put that down. Are you getting the quarantine 15? I think is what they call it.
Probably. It might be the quarantine 20 at the end of this.
All right, Terrell, what about you, man?
Not too much. I mean, it's been Black Friday and all that, so just hoping to be able to get the 65-inch tomorrow for under 300. So we'll see if we can get it. I'm not camping out at Best Buy, so.
I was gonna say, do you need to go in the store to get it?
You can try to order online, which I think starts at 12.
This won't be posted by then, so you ain't got to worry about competing with anybody else.
Yeah, should be good. I'm sure there's people camping out. We got to worry about those people, but yeah.
Yikes. I haven't thought about doing the Black Friday online shopping yet. Yikes. Mm-hmm. Corey, what about you?
Trying to find PS5 if anybody knows anybody that won. That's what I'm for. I was looking for the 65, but no, it's all good over here. I've been and comparative staying healthy during these Amazon packages. It's getting real crazy out here.
Your audio got frozen right at the last second. You trying to do what? Right the last one.
Just delivering these packages. Working a lot.
Yeah, look at your videos is all right. There you go. It's coming back. Obviously, you did some Jersey shopping too.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. All
right. Well, all right. We're going to cover a bunch of topics today, and so one of the things that since we've been away, that obviously we're still dealing with all of everything with the boogie fever with COVID. All right, so Curt, let me ask you, in terms you being a teacher, how has education been impacted by COVID? I mean, obviously kids are at home now. We know that mostly, or they're at home, then they're at school, then they're back at home. And I know you can't say everything on YouTube publicly, but what you can free enough to say, how has COVID impacted education?
What I've heard from other teachers in other districts.
All right, yeah.
For instance, you may call a student or you may have a student on video and there is complete chaos going on in the back room. Other things, students do not show up. There is a high absence rate for all students across the board. Not just the students that were traditionally absent, but all students.
Do you mean when you say not show up? Do you mean in school for the ones that? Okay, just make a distinction.
Online, virtual,
and in school. Okay, because the
virtual
has it changed?
The majority of schools. I want to say the majority of schools in Michigan are virtual only or primarily virtual.
Okay.
I think this will prove that students need to be in school, in the classroom, and unless you're a highly motivated student, virtual learning is probably not for you.
Did you feel
for the majority of students?
Did you feel that they were already beginning to push everyone to virtual learning in the first place? Before
I do believe prior to this that people thought virtual learning was a viable alternative. However, after this, I don't think people will see that as a viable alternative for the majority of students in K through 12 education. It might be different for college students, but K through 12, definitely not.
All right, y'all keep going. I'm still here.
Okay.
My video just went out, but everything is still rolling.
Okay.
So now, what do you know the difference? Let's say with the students that have gone back to school. I know here in Arizona, students many of them started going back to school, but 1 minute, they're in school, the next minute they're not in school. But have you noticed, from what you've at least heard, maybe just teachers outside of Michigan, are they seeing a difference in how things are going with students that are in school?
I have not really communicated with any teachers outside of Michigan.
Okay. So now when you say students are not going up, or at least online, so now really, I guess, I don't want to say what does that mean? I mean, I know it's obvious, but what is that going to mean? And let's say, report cards are getting ready to come out. From what I remember back in the day, report cards are getting ready to come out within a month or so?
That I'm not sure about, because I'm gonna say it's gonna put a lot of students behind. But in all cases, it's not necessarily completely on the student if you don't have internet at your house, or you don't have a computer, or you have 4 brothers and sisters and you are all operating on the same Wi-Fi off your parents' phone. It's just inequity. And I think it's going to accent that more. So students that have access to high-speed internet and computers at their house, of course they're going to perform well. But the students that don't are just going to be left behind.
This is something that I think it was on a 60 Minutes piece that ended up coming up. They had one young lady. She had mentioned that she had lived in various hotels, just generally throughout her life. And so since everything has been going on, now she said she was struggling to look at the teacher's instructions on her small phone. Now I have an iPhone 6 that I still use for work, and I know how tiny that screen is. So she was saying how she was trying to blow it up to see, what the teacher was teaching. But, as you noted, between doing that and studying with other people, I think she had maybe 1 or 2 siblings and her parents in a hotel room trying to do that. And I can only imagine what she was trying to do on a hotel Wi-Fi or a motel Wi-Fi. She was saying how she would just walk like a mile away to the park and try to do her work there. It really hit me. I know where the U.S. has always been kind of in education compared to the rest of the world. It really made me wonder now, with everything going on with COVID, where students are going to end up being now as compared to the rest of the world. As we start looking out, you're going to have kids, basically, are they going to be missing a year of their education? How will they catch that back up? Because me as a homeschooling parent, I can just be like, yeah, all right, well, we'll make it up because y'all going to do work during the summer. Or we just gonna work double time. I know you don't have that leeway inside the school system. So really, what's going to happen?
That I don't know. I don't know how you would fail a significant number of students because they don't have access to the internet or to a computer. It's just not fair.
Right. And I have a feeling that those who do have high-speed internet, those who do go to quote-unquote good schools, probably don't care about the problems of those who do
But it's not just if you go to a good school. If you go to if your parents are affluent, you could go to a good school, but that doesn't necessarily mean that your parents have access to the internet or that you have a computer.
Wow.
So it is based on economics.
Wow.
Because you still could be poor and still attend a good school, but you don't have the same access with homeschooling that you would if you were still attending school in the building.
So are we going to see maybe a bit of a divide like we kind of used to have back in our day with Catholic schools, where you're going to have those affluent private schools where they may end up taking a much higher leap than above everyone else? Because
middle and upper middle class students already have access. This is just going to exacerbate that poorer students and rural students don't have access. And then what are we going to do about that? What if something like this happens again?
Wow.
So I'm sorry, but every student should be supplied with a computer and functioning internet.
Yeah.
That should just
They do. They do at
I mean,
my kids' school.
textbooks are essentially obsolete. So instead of spending all that money on textbooks, buy students computers.
Go ahead and tell the story with your kids. What were you about to say?
Oh, I was gonna say at my kids' school they do. They provide iPads. They actual computers. They bring them home. They had, I want to say they supplied them with headphones as well. Like you said about the internet thing, you know, when I had all three kids on the same internet, the internet did slow down, which then caused issue with Zoom meetings because, you know, the internet out or the internet's slow and they can't. It did cause an issue there.
Your sound and video is rough now. You mean to say it's because your kids doing schoolwork this late?
No, it's because of the janky internet.
They like, you blaming us, Dad.
No, it's the janky internet too.
Oh wow. I mean, I guess I'm worried. I'm just worried to hear those kind of statistics that kids are just, you know, not even showing up. I would ask for some funny stories, Curt, but I don't want you to get in trouble. But unless you could share some that somebody else told you, because I can only imagine. I mean, as someone who works from home, I know how it is with noise and people coming around. So I can only imagine a kid at a table trying to pay attention and have a camera on who may be walking around behind them.
Okay, but that's another issue, having the camera on. I don't know if it's available on Zoom where you can create or put a picture as your background.
Yeah.
But a lot of students don't know how to do that. Does every student want to show where you gave the example of the student living in the hotel. Yeah. Does she want everybody in her class to know that she's living in a hotel room with 5 other people?
That's the truth.
How are you going to tell a kid, turn on your camera? You don't know what's going on at their house. You don't even know if they're in a house. So that in itself is not fair.
That's deep, man. That's deep. Because you do bring up a good point. You know, and for full disclosure, we'll say.
And I don't need to see another kid in a shower cap or a bonnet. So I don't have a you must have your camera on. I don't want to see you laying in the bed. I don't want to see you in the bonnet. I don't want to see you in a hairnet.
Come on, Curt. Come on, man. At least you ain't have to see my pants sag when I get up to go in front of the classroom.
I don't have a that's their generation. That's their style. Like, when I think about the sagging pants issue, it's the same issue that their grandparents were like, you're wearing bell bottoms. Why are you wearing those funny pants? Why are you wearing those funny platform shoes?
I don't know,
etc.
Your drawers, man. I draw the line showing your drawers. I mean,
it's their style. It's their fashion.
No, man.
Older people always complaining about somebody else's style. But if you think back on it, why are you wearing them baggy clothes? Why you got that funny carved in the back of your head. Why you got an Adidas sign but carved in the back of your head?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Look, when you're showing your behind, like you want somebody to run up in you, that's what I draw the line. That's what I'm saying. You a thug with your pants pulled down and showing your butt. That's they don't do.
No, that's why they all locked up right now, because they couldn't run.
Wow.
You're right.
Or you trying to fight and you pulling up your pants half the time.
I know that you like.
Hold on, let me get my pants. All right, what you want to do?
Yes.
Wow.
Although I did explain to my kids recently, you are right. I was explaining to them the whole wear your one pants leg up on your jogging pants. You know,
Exactly.
I will pull it up. That's one that's like, that's a generational thing.
Exactly. Why?
Boy.
You put lotion on one leg but not the other one.
You're right. Wow.
That way.